Welcome back to Sui Crypto. This is going to be a quick update video on Pawtato Land, the game that has taken the Sui ecosystem by storm. Back on June 20th, I did a video on Pawtato Land. That was the day it minted, and the game has been on fire since. So today we'll cover the roadmap, talk about what's next, and where I see potential opportunity for people that are just learning about it now. It's still very early in my opinion, and as the game evolves, as we learn more, new strategies become viable. So before I begin, please note nothing I say is financial advice. This is for education and entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. So Pawtato Finance is one of my favorite projects on Sui. I've done multiple videos on the dashboard, which is a great wallet manager tool. Keep track of everything that you own, all of your DeFi positions across as many wallets as you have in the Sui ecosystem. This is their first product, and since then it's evolved into Pawtato Land, which we're going to focus on today. So let's start by taking a look at everything that this DeFi game entails. And if we click right here, you'll see land management. This is where you can view all of the lands that you own and whether they're staked or not. You can stake and unstake them. If you unstake, there is a cooling down period, I think of a couple days. Currently I have these 9 lands. Most of them are staked. 2 of them I do have for sale on secondary on TradePort, which I'll show you in a second. You can see if you select a land, all of the attributes that it has. Here are the main attributes: sky, soil, wood, stone, water, coal, iron, gold, and crystal. Each land is different. They can have large, medium, small, or none for each of the attributes. And then sky and soil are essentially boosters for production of your resources. So in this case, a lavender sky gives me a 10% bump on each of these that I have. So I get a 10% bump on gold, small coal, small water, and so on, as well as the soil. So I'd also get a 10% bump from the orchard soil. Let's take a look at this piece of land. Again, you can see this one has a golden sky, which is a 15% bump, orchard, which is 10, and then it's got large wood, small stone, no water, small coal, small iron, and no crystal or gold. So this makes it very easy to view the lands that you own, whether they're staked, and then what attributes they have. If you do stake your land and then click on resource production, it's going to earn yield based on what you have. So if you have a piece of land with gold, it's going to earn gold. If you have a piece of land with crystal, it's going to earn crystal, and so on for each of the resources. You have to have them staked, I believe, in order for them to produce yield. We'll come back to this in a minute and some of the strategy behind that. Next, if you click here, tool management, these are the tools that I am currently using for production. I have a wheelbarrow, pickaxe, and a bucket. And then for my crafting tools, I have basic handsaw, chisel, and a kiln. You can unlock more tools by using your resources that you accumulate or that you swap for. If we click on this tool management, you can see these tools are all currently equipped. These are unequipped. These are NFTs that you can sell on TradePort. Pawtato tools right here, which we'll come back to in a second. And then if I click on Land Merge Simulator, this is a really nice tool. This is the next step in their roadmap where you're going to be able to merge either 4 or 9 pieces of land to form an estate or a province. And then if I click here, you can see here's what I've currently accumulated in terms of resources and the current value of those resources, which if you click on market, you could swap for at any time. Let's just say I have gold. I could say max gold, which would be that in USDC. So at any time you could swap your resources for Sui or USDC or any other Sui ecosystem token. So before we dive in and talk specifically about the upcoming land merger, I want to show you the roadmap that they just released and where we're currently at with the game. So land mint again happened late June. I did a video on that, minted out in 2 hours. Production, that's where we stake our land and we're earning resources which have value. And then crafting, this is where the tools come into play. You can craft a wheelbarrow. You would need 10 planks of wood, 2 iron bars, and 5 water to create a wheelbarrow. You could also simply go to TradePort and buy a wheelbarrow here, and you can do that for any of the tools. So you could come in and craft any of these tools that you'd like. For example, a kiln, you would need 50 blocks of stone, 30 pieces of coal, and 25 water to go ahead and craft or mint that tool. And then over here, it's going to tell you what the tools are used for in the game. This robust tool harnesses intense heat to smelt ore into valuable iron or gold bars. With the better kiln, less ore is wasted when filling modules. So that's the other thing, is that each tool has a different quality score. So if we take a look at pickaxe and click on this one, for tier it's a common. There's common, uncommon, rare, and ultra rare, I believe. Maybe epic is one as well. And then durability and quality scores. So each one is different. For example, if I wanted a top pickaxe, I could sort it by quality, and then I could also sort by tier. So they have common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic. So there is one mythic, but it's not for sale. Let's see if there's any legendary. No legendary for sale. Epic, there is an epic pickaxe for 99 Sui available. You'd be surprised at the price some of these epics and rares go for with different tools. I encourage you to come out to TradePort and open up Pawtato Tools as well as Pawtato Land. Just in the past 7 days, this has done 243,000 in volume USD. If we go sort this by all time, so these are all of the NFT projects on Sui. Pawtato Land in just a couple months has already done over 1.2 million in volume, which is incredible. Floor price currently sitting at 26. I believe these minted for like 11 Sui, maybe less than that. So anybody that's minted is sitting in a nice profit for sure. There's no doubt in my mind that Pawtato Land will eventually become, sooner than later, the top NFT project all time in the Sui ecosystem. So that's a quick overview of kind of the main aspects of the game, but I want to focus on what's up next. So the big merge, right? The land merge is the next step. Then we have heroes coming, then land placement, buildings, quests and travel, progression and combat, and then strategy, massive multiplayer online game. So let's focus on the next step on the roadmap, which is the big merge. And for that, we're going to click on the merge simulator right here. So again, you can select 4 lands for an estate or 9 lands for a province. So for example, if I just select these 4 randomly, this is just a simulator right now. This is not live, but it's nice that they put this in place so that you can start making your plans and seeing what you have and how well it merges together to give you maximum yield. If we were to select all 9 of these, you can see there's a province. And if you scroll down, you'll see province. You can have 3 to 5 small buildings, 3 to 5 medium buildings, and then 1 to 3 large building slots. If we go back to just an estate, with an estate, you can have 2 to 4 small buildings, 1 to 3 medium, and 0 large building slots. So if you're deciding whether or not to merge into an estate or province, you then have to decide which lands make sense together. And the main thing to keep in mind with this is that it's going to take the top attribute or resource of the lands that you merge. For example, this one has large gold. I'd want that to be in an estate, right? If I'm going to merge 4, because now I have large gold as part of my estate. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you merge your lands into an estate or province, it's going to burn those lands and you're going to get the estate. So this is also super important. You can see that the max supply is 15,000. The team at Pawtato has said there will never be any more lands minted. So this number is actually going to go down in theory when people start merging, probably quite a bit, because these 4 lands would essentially be burned into an estate. So it's going to take the top attributes from each one when forming the estate. For example, this one has large gold, so I would have large gold on my estate. This one has small iron and small coal, large wood, so I would have large wood. This one has medium gold, so I wouldn't want to merge that one, right? That would make no sense in my opinion for me to merge this large gold with this medium gold, because I'd be wasting this one. It would be overridden, right? The price I paid on secondary to buy this piece of land with medium gold, I'm better off just keeping it staked and collecting that passive income from the land production over here, or selling it and getting something that makes more sense to merge. Because ideally what I would want is I would want large gold, as much crystal, although the price of crystal is crazy. So if you don't already have one, it's going to be tough to get in the near future, which is fine. The game mechanics are constantly changing and each resource is going to go up and down in value, in my opinion. I would want to merge this large gold. I wouldn't want to merge this one because now I'm basically burning this medium gold. This one as well, medium gold, I wouldn't want to merge that. So let's see if I can find a better combination. So I have large gold with this one. I have large wood. And then this one I would want to merge because you can see it has sundown, 50% boost for the sky, as well as the soil is olive. I get a 30% boost. So now I'm getting that boost on my gold and my wood. And then let's see if I'm just doing an estate. What other one do I have large? This one has large stone, although the price of stone, right? You want to look at what the price of each resource is. Stone is one of the least valuable at the moment. This is medium gold. I don't want to do that one. Again, it'd be a waste. This one has medium iron, and iron is one of the top resources. So that one would make sense. Okay, so I have this one selected, this one, and this one. Now I could form an estate once this is live. And you can see by being strategic on the land that I chose for the estate, I'm getting a 50% bump from sundown sky. I'm getting a 30% bump from olive. I have large wood. Key thing here is I have large gold, and then I have medium iron, small everything else. But I maximized my resources with the lands I selected and didn't override or burn valuable gold land that would have been wasted, right? My 2 mediums would have been wasted because we just would have had large. I hope that makes sense. It's a little bit confusing, but the more you play around with this, the more clear I think it'll be. Key is it's going to take the top attributes. Jump into the Discord. Their Discord is highly active. The token generation event for Pawtato is also something coming up in the future. So by participating now and jumping into the game, you're going to earn XP points towards Pawtato's TGE. They have a referral program right here, so you can invite a friend and earn more points. A couple other things I'll point out quickly. Pawdash is a great tool that was created by Freak.Sui. be a community member, where you'll see all the key stats, information, analytics about the game broken down really nice. So if we go to land analytics, you'll see top performing combinations, olive soil plus atomic sky. If we go to market insights, total daily production, lands only. This is the amount of resources that they're producing, right? You can see that crystal by far is the most scarce, followed by gold, then iron, coal, and so on. If we go to production rankings, you can see that total lands 15,000. Again, that number is going to go down once the merge starts. Total daily combined earnings, average daily earnings, top earner, and then here are the current token prices of the resources. Again, crystal by far the most valuable at the moment, followed by gold. Gold at one point was trading over $6, which is pretty impressive. And he even has an ROI calculator, which is really cool, where you can enter your purchase price of the land, where's your break-even point, how long, and so on. So I highly recommend utilizing Paw Dash. I'll put the link to it in the description. I highly recommend jumping into Pawtato Finance's Discord, asking questions. They have a great group of people, really good moderators, and will help point you in the right direction. And then finally, I want to point out how crazy the volume has been on secondary market on TradePort, which is the marketplace for Sui NFTs. 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago, 14 minutes ago, I'm shooting this on a Monday morning when volume on everything is typically the slowest, and we're still seeing consistent volume. For land sales, 55 Sui an hour ago. And some of the prices for lands with crystal, gold, and other resources have been very significant. 158 for this one. Click on it, take a look. That must have had a small crystal. Yep, small crystal. If we sort this by large crystal, there aren't even any for sale at the moment. If we go to medium crystal, 698 is the floor, and you'll see just 11 hours ago this one sold for 699 Sui. So the engagement with this game, DeFi game you can call it, has been the strongest I've seen since I've been covering the Sui ecosystem. It's not even close. Take a look at gold. Let's take a look at large gold lands, and then sales. 5 hours ago this one sold for 143 Sui. Current floor for large gold is 132. This one sold for 209, probably because of the sundown sky, which gives you a boost. And then to see that information, like what percentage boost does the sky and soil give you, you can go to what is Pawtato Land, and then if you scroll down, you can see here the land traits, scarcity, value, and mechanics, resource rarity. This is where you'll see the boost you'll get on sky and soil, depending on which type you get. So atomic for sky is definitely number one. Very rare, just 1%. It's going to give you a 100% bonus. Sundown, second, it's going to give you a 50% bonus, followed by daylight, sunrise, 20%, golden, and so on. And again, this comes into play when thinking about merging into an estate or province. Ideally, you would love to have an estate with an atomic sky or a sundown sky to get that 100% or 50% boost. Same thing with soil. Brown soil is going to give you 0 bonus, but violet's going to give you 75. Olive's going to give you 30, and so on. So soil and sky, that's what you want to keep in mind. It's going to give you a boost based on what you have. Again, goes into your game theory on merging into an estate or province, or just keeping them all separate and just staking them. You could do that as well, right? Just stake them and earn the yield on whatever resources that land has that has the atomic. If you had an atomic crystal, that'd be unbelievable. Atomic gold would be very good. All of them. Atomic iron. Just have to kind of put your strategy together. And then here is the resource-based production. So with land merge coming up, I think now is a great time to dive into the game. See if you can find a combination of lands that you could merge into an estate or province. Floor price has come down a little bit since the weekend. It was over 30 Sui this weekend, so it is currently down at the moment. But again, still way up since mint. And then if we just take one more look again at the roadmap, there's still a long way to go. We're very early in this DeFi game, which I think has the opportunity to not just become the biggest game on Sui, which I think it already is. I think it has an opportunity to become one of the biggest games in Web3. And so, in my opinion, it's worth diving into Pawtato Land. If nothing else, use the dashboard just to manage all of your wallets and DeFi positions. It's the most fun I've had with NFTs on any chain since 2021. So hopefully this was helpful. If it was, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more crypto content. I'll see you in the next one.